Bhagavad Gita offers one of the most profound lessons of mental resilience through the idea of Sthitaprajna, a person of steady wisdom. It is not about escaping the world or rejecting modern life. Instead, it is about mastering our inner operating system while fully participating in the world. In the Gita, Arjuna asks a very practical question to Krishna. How does a person of steady wisdom speak, sit, and walk? In other words, how does such a person actually live? Krishna's answers become the timeless blueprint for emotional mastery, the foundation of inner contentment. In chapter 2, verse 55, Krishna explains the essence of Sthitaprajna. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanevatmana tushta sthitaprajnastadochyate. Meaning, when a person abandons all selfish desires arising in the mind and finds satisfaction within the self by the self, that person is called a Sthitaprajna. In today's world, we constantly seek validation through likes, followers, praise, and approval. But the Sthitaprajna does not depend on external applause. Their sense of worth comes from within. You could call it the highest form of self-validation. The balance of the steady mind is the key of getting peaceful vibes from the within. Krishna continues in the next verse. दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहा वितराग भयक्रोधा स्थितर्धीर्मुनिरुच्यते. Meaning, a person whose mind remains undisturbed in sorrow, who does not crave pleasure, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger. Such a sage is called one of the steady wisdom. This is the essence of equanimity. It does not mean becoming emotionless. It means not collapsing in difficulty and not losing balance in the success. Life moves like a roller coaster, but the Sthitaprajna maintains a stable inner center. Interestingly, modern neuroscience also echoes this wisdom. The renowned neuroscientist Richard Davidson once observed, "Don't forget, well-being is a skill which is very much essential in today's era." In other words, emotional balance is not the accident, it is something we practice and cultivate. Let's talk about Saint Dhaneshwar's beautiful insight about Sthitaprajnata. Saint Dhaneshwar Maharaj described this state within extraordinary beauty in the Dhaneshwari. He writes, "जैसा कस्तुरी मृगु आपणिया आपण पे न ओळखे धनंजया तैसा आत्मसुखाचिया सोहळा जो मग्न से." Meaning, just as the musk deer carries the fragrance within itself but searches for it outside, the Sthitaprajna is one who is immersed in the grand celebration of inner bliss. How often do we search for happiness in the next achievement, or in the next purchase, or the next opportunity? Saint Dhaneshwar reminds us that the festival of joy is already happening within us. We only need to recognize it. The mystic poet Kabir expressed the same truth in the simple but powerful way. कस्तूरी कुंडल बसे मृगढुंडे वन माही ऐसे घट घट राम है दुनिया देखे नाही. The musk is within the deer, yet it searches the forest. In the same way, the divine truth lives within us, yet we search everywhere else. Now the question arises, what does this ancient wisdom means in our AI-driven, hyper-connected world? Surprisingly, the concept of Sthitaprajna is more relevant today than ever before. In the modern tech world, if the system crashes, project fails, or market fluctuates, but a Sthitaprajna professional sees setbacks as data, not destiny. They learn, adjust, and move forward without emotional collapse. Today, we live in the age of overwhelming information and constant noise. The person with Sthitadi, that is steady intellect, can distinguish signals from noise. Their decisions are not driven by panic, trends, or social pressures, but by clarity and long-term wisdom. Social media constantly shows us the highlight reels of other people's lives. This clearly creates anxiety, compression, and FOMO. The Gita offers a simple remedy. Be content within the self. When your inner anchor is strong, comparison loses its power. The Gita gives a powerful metaphor, the tortoise. Just as tortoise withdraws its limbs when necessary, a wise person knows when to withdraw the senses. In today's language, this means digital discipline, the ability to switch off the notifications, step away from the screens, and focus deeply. Without this ability, the mind becomes scattered. With it, clarity returns. Krishna describes the Sthitaprajna as vitaraga bhayakrodha, free from the excessive attachment, fear, and anger. In modern leadership language, this is the essence of emotional intelligence, that is EQ. In any organizations, fear and anger destroy productivity, but a leader who practices inner stability becomes the calm center of the storm. Such a person brings clarity even in the chaos. Ultimately, the Sthitaprajna is the unshakable human being. Whatever it is, a fluctuating stock market in New York, a technology shift in London, or personal challenges in Mumbai, the principle remains the same. We cannot control the wisdom of the external world, but we can always adjust ourselves, our inner responses. And that is the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.